Can you explain a scenario in your project where you have used tasks? I will go over 3 use cases in which I have used tasks on my project. Let me tell you a story of what happened on my project. One day, my manager came to me and he told me that he wanted to know the daily, monthly, weekly growth in our data over the past 3 years in our Snowflake data warehouse. He told me that he wanted to make this information available to management. I explained to him that we have a view called the table storage metrics, which gives us a current snapshot of the storage metrics of the data warehouse. However, this information is not time sliced, meaning I can see the current snapshot of the storage metrics. I don't know how it was a week back, a month back, a year back, and so on and so forth. Naturally, he was not very happy when he heard that, and he asked me what I needed to do in order to resolve this problem. I explained to him that I cannot do anything about the past, but I could build something for him for the future. And accordingly, I spoke to the project manager and I got a task created on the Jira board, in which what we did was that we copied data from the account usage table storage metrics and we brought it into a data governance schema wherein we would summarize the storage that we had for every given day. So basically, every day we would calculate our storage in the table storage metrics view and save that information inside the data governance schema. So the way we accomplished this was with the help of a stored procedure, which would go and group all the information inside the table storage metrics and insert that data into a table that we had created by day. Now, this stored procedure was called by a task, and the task would run every day at 7 a.m. and we would get all the information we needed by then. At 7 a.m., what happens is that most of our jobs are done and we have about 1 hour before the business starts using the data. So by using the account usage table storage metrics along with tasks and stored procedure, we were able to, in our project, collect data regarding storage growth for every day, and that basically we were able to translate it into weekly growth, monthly growth, and annual growth. So that was one use case. The second use case that I want to talk about is a very common use case which I'm sure a lot of you have already encountered, that is using tasks with streams. Now, you know that tasks have an option wherein it can look into a stream to see if there is data, and if there is data in the stream, then the task would execute whatever statement is associated with that task. In our project, we primarily use tasks with streams along with merge statements inside stored procedures so that we could maintain near real-time data on several tables that were very important to the business. So in this scenario, what was happening was that we had raw tables in which data would stream in at regular intervals, and as data would stream into these tables, we had streams on top of that which would alert us to inserts and updates that are happening in the raw layer, and accordingly we would insert update data in the target table which was consumed by business. So this is another use case which I encountered on my projects where we use streams along with tasks to do CDC along with merge and stored procedures. The final use case that I'm going to talk about today is refreshing reporting tables and data marts from base tables. We have reporting tables that are consumed by the business, and the latency requirement for these reporting tables is about 60 minutes. And because the latency requirement is 60 minutes, we do not need to create streams on this. So in the interest of saving compute, what we did was that we created a task, and that task would basically run again a stored procedure which would do an insert update with a merge command and refresh the reporting tables data marts on the base table such that it is refreshed every 60 minutes. So these are the 3 use cases that I want to talk about today. Now I'm sure there are several other use cases that exist for tasks, but from a interview perspective, as long as you are able to talk about these 3 use cases, I think you should be good from the interview perspective. With that, we conclude this question. If you have the time, please join me in the next question.